Hi, my name is Mike and today, as promised in an earlier video, we're going to have a look at some group plantings. This first one here is a Japanese larch group. This consists of 9 trees and it started out originally as a 5-tree group. The original composition was done at a workshop with Harry Tomlinson at Greenwood Gardens in Nottingham. Must be about 15 years ago now, I suppose. The group started out, as I said, as a 5-tree group, which is this central group here. And I then added, as the trees progressed, I added smaller trees to give a little bit of definition and a little bit of depth and perspective to the group. It's been in training for, as I said, a good 15 years now. It's matured quite nicely and is now producing cones, as you can see in the little trees there, although I made a mistake of leaving too many cones on one of the branches, which you can probably see down here, where the trees put all his effort into producing the seed in the cone and forgot to produce any foliage, so that branch unfortunately has died and will need to be replaced. But overall, there you go, that's a group that will need to be repotted next year. It gets repotted every 3 or 4 years because it's a pretty strong grower. Now the second group that we're looking at today is a little 3-tree group. Again, this is a Japanese larch made from garden centre stock. There was a sale on a local nursery of surplus material that was grown specifically for plantation planting in Scotland, and they had a big batch left over, so I managed to acquire them quite cheaply. So the trees are between 15 and 20 years old and just had the first trim for this year to tidy up the foliage pads a little and to bring a bit of structure into the trees. There's very little wiring been done on those trees this year because they had a bit of a setback last year when they had a major attack of some aphids that decided to sort of make their home in these trees. I had to apply quite a bit of a systemic insecticide to get rid of those, and it set the trees back a little, but they've come back strongly this year. And as you can see, I had to trim quite a bit of the foliage off. There's still a little bit of tidying up to do. There needs to be the sort of growth that's hanging out underneath the tree needs to be trimmed off a little. But again, I think it's a nice little group for not very much money. The third group this today is a Korean Hornbeam. Again, that was a subject of a workshop with Harry Tomlinson at the time. It was originally a 3-tree planting, and I had them sitting in a much deeper pot than this, and they were growing so strongly that I managed to strike a couple of cuttings, which are the two trees that you can see inside here, are cuttings that were added to the original planting. Now this shows how important it is to rotate your trees regularly. Now this one's been sitting in the same position for a while. As you can see, there's a distinct lack of foliage in this area here, whereas the other side is grown pretty heavily, and that's due to lack of light. So I really need to remember to rotate these trees probably a bit more often than I do. It's got a nice shape all the way around, good movement in the trees, and it's got some lovely ramification now, which will obviously need to be kept with constant trimming. It grows pretty strongly, and the autumn colour is fantastic. There's bright oranges and reds and yellows in that, and hopefully later in the year I'll post some autumn colour videos so you can see how spectacular this tree looks when it's in the autumn colour. Today this is a little group of Lonicera Nitidia, which is common hedge honeysuckle. This started out as a little bit of fun with with a few cuttings, but it's come out pretty nice, and I'm sort of hoping to stick that on a slab next year and make it look a little bit more conducive. I think the pot's slightly too deep for the group, although they like a bit of a cool root run. So I'm hoping to find a nice slate or sandstone slab that I can put them on. Nice little shape to the trees. The roots are quite magnificent on these, and I'll give you a little close-up of those in just a few seconds. Again, it says these are cuttings, probably about 8 years old now, and shows that, you know, even with material taken from your own little garden shrubs, you can create nice little bonsai groups with trees that might probably not be suitable to have as a bonsai in the have a close-up of this little honeysuckle group. As you can see, it's got nicely defined foliage pads, and you can probably see the roots are pretty well developed on all of those trees and show nicely. This first one here is grown over a lump of old concrete, really, and has settled nicely. The roots are quite tight to that rock, and the little thin tree at the back gives a bit of a perspective of depth. I'll just give you a quick 360 on the composition. And there we are, back at the front. Close-up of the Hornbeam group. So I'll just give you a 360 on that, so you can see. This is the area that's sort of lacking a bit of light, really, and needs to be developed a little. Still a bit sparse again at the back, because it's only just come into leaf about 3 weeks ago, so it's filling out. It's filling out nicely. Here's a bit of a close-up of the 3-tree group. Again, I'll just give you a 360 spin through. As I said, there's not a lot of root to be seen at the moment, but that will be exposed as I go along in the training of this group. But overall, I think there's a good. The trees are working nicely together, and it'll be well worth working on for another couple of years. And finally, back to the 9-tree group. Again, I'll give you a bit of a 360 spin so you can see how those trees are arranged. So as you notice, there's a very good root formation in the bottom here that I've exposed this year to let the roots mature a little. As I said, it's due for a repot next year, so it'll be set slightly higher on the soil level to show off those roots. The extension here on that primary tree is to give the group a little bit more height and get a bit more of a triangular shape rather than a dome shape. So I hope you enjoyed those. No doubt I'll be showing these later in the year when they're producing their autumn colour. Lovely bright yellow on these larches, and as I said, a spectacular colour on the hornbeam. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you'll see you again. Bye.